only on DAZN. August 16th, Moses Itauma, the next heavyweight superstar, faces his greatest challenge, Dillian Whyte, back to remind the world he's not done yet. Itauma versus Whyte. Click the link in the description to buy.
Alright people, we've just literally had the weigh-in for Moses Itauma, Dillian Whyte, and Dillian Whyte's in shape. He is in shape. We kind of all speculated that Dillian Whyte was looking in good shape. We saw that from the clips of him hitting the heavy bag, where you could see the definition in his legs. We seen that originally going back to the interview he gave with Kugan Cassius, where he looked really, really good. He looked really thin in the face. But you got to remember, people, certainly over the course of the years in heavyweight boxing, Andy Ruiz being a prime suspect, we've seen fighters who have been able to just basically put those Tinder girls to shame. With the filters, with the catfishing, with the images, you all know a Tinder girl when you can only see their face, you can't see from the waist down, or you can't see from the neck down. I wonder why. But you know what I mean, right? You know what I mean? And we've seen people like Andy Ruiz do that, and they get to fight night, they get to the weigh-in, and they're as heavy as always. They look the same as always, etc., etc., etc. The minute Dillian Whyte took that t-shirt off, you were like, he's in shape. You can see the definition around his chest. He's never going to be, Mr. Lean cut in the midriff, but at least you could see and you could say, right, look, he looks good in the midriff as well. So Dillian Whyte is looking in really, really good shape. At the end of the day, boxing is not an aesthetic contest. If it was a case of, the most lean chisel guy is always going to win, well then Anthony Joshua would win every fight. He'd be undefeated, he'd be undisputed heavyweight champion, he'd never have been beaten by Andy Ruiz. But does it help you being in shape? It absolutely does. Andy Ruiz, he ain't going to win Mr. Universe. Can he fight? Of course he can. On his day, is he a good fighter? He absolutely is. Would he be a better fighter if he was in shape? He absolutely would. But Dillian Whyte, it looked good, right? And it's better to be in shape than not. Gives you a better chance, right? And Dillian Whyte stood on the scale 244 pounds, which by his standards over the last couple of years is very light. He might have been in the 240s against Franklin or Fury, one or the other. And I think he might have been in one of the Povetkin fights. Not in all those fights, at least one of them he was in the 240s, the high 240s. Other than that, it's been the 250s, or like against Ebenezer Tete last time out, where he looked awful, absolutely awful. He was in the 260s, right? And he looked awful in that fight. Nearly 20 pounds lighter in this respective fight. So he's really trained hard. He's come in great shape. And you can see that with Dillian Whyte. Now look, is this going to guarantee him victory? No. But does it make it more interesting? Does it make it more compelling? Does it have me thinking maybe he can do something in there against Itauma? It absolutely does. With the way Dillian Whyte's been speaking this week, he's been giving Itauma his flowers. And it's led some people to believe that maybe Dillian Whyte is mentally not up for this fight, that he's mentally checked out. He's coming for the payday, and that's about it. I thought that wasn't the case. I thought that that's Dillian Whyte using his experience to try and, rattle the kid a little bit. Because he's only 7. He's not 7, he's 20. But he's 17 years his junior. When he was 10, he was facing Anthony Joshua. You know what I mean? He's been there, seen it, and done it, worn a t-shirt. I think it was a bit of mind games from Dillian Whyte. Given the fact that he's someone who has come in to camp out of shape in the past, who's come into fights not the best shape in the past, someone who, for me, loves fighting but not the training aspect of it, to put himself through this camp and to get into this shape at this stage of his career, that shows me that he is actually going for this fight, that he is up for this fight, and that he wants to do something in there against Moses Itauma. As for Itauma, he weighed 245. The DAZN showed it as 235, but I would say 245. Believe me, if he was 235, you'd notice it. He looked about 245. Itauma's he's not heavily muscled, but he's very thickly set. He's just a naturally big, strong young man. And I'd say he's very powerful physically. I'd say you would have an awful time trying to push Itauma back. I'd say he's like hitting a brick wall in terms of that. Only about a pound difference in it. But I don't know. Dillian Whyte is very physical too. So 1 pound difference won't seem like much, but both these guys are going to be absolutely going for it, I think. The long and the short of it, has it changed my perception on this fight? Has it made my prediction change? Has it made me think any different about this fight? And the reality is no, it hasn't. I still believe Dillian Whyte is going to win. I believe Moses Itauma is going to win this fight. But I do believe Dillian Whyte has given himself a better chance in there. I think that some of the aspects of Dillian Whyte's game that have cost him in the past have been technical. And you can't, you can go and you can get yourself in better shape, but at the end of the day, the technical aspects are still there. And if you don't fix them technically, again, you can look like Mr. Universe, but it ain't going to matter. I mean, he's open to the uppercut. He's not fought a southpaw. He only fought one southpaw his whole career, and that guy had 70 odd losses. It's just, you can't compare that to Itauma. It's a completely different beast altogether. It's a completely different puzzle. It's completely different altogether. So for me, I look at this and I think, all right, all that is good, and it's making me more excited for this fight. It's making me more hyped for it. It's making me believe more that maybe Dillian Whyte can actually give Itauma something to think about in there. But ultimately, I think it's going to end up going the way we all think it is, which is Moses Itauma winning this fight by knockout. I just think now, given the fact that Dillian Whyte looks in better shape, and he definitely is, and the scales prove that, nearly 20 pounds lighter than he was last time out, and given the fact that he's been consistently in camp probably since March. Bear in mind, he's meant to fight Joe Joyce in April. Maybe even before March, actually. Was meant to fight Joe Joyce in April. Pulled out of that fight. Was still able to train. Obviously got word of this fight. Boom, there you go. So he's been consistently taking over in the gym. So I don't think he's lost this weight too quickly. I don't think it's going to run the risk of weakening him. I think he's going to do well. I think he's going to do well early on, but he's going to get ultimately taken out and stopped. I just can't see how Dillian Whyte wins this fight. I can see how he could be competitive in it, but I can't see how he wins this fight. I think Itauma's... the more I see him this week, the more confident I think he's looking now, and I think it's just his time. I really do. So my prediction for this fight hasn't changed. I'm still going with Moses Itauma to win this fight by stoppage, round 7-10. But we're in for a good fight while we have it, I believe. I truly believe that. But let me know your thoughts in the comments section below. Hope you enjoyed the video, people. As always, if you could, smash the like button, hit subscribe, all of that good stuff. And until next time.
Only on DAZN, August 16th, Moses Itauma, the next heavyweight superstar, faces his greatest challenge, Dillian Whyte, back to remind the world he's not done yet. Itauma versus Whyte. Click the link in the description to buy.